Hi, thanks for tuning in to 79 Custom Jigs. Today, we're going to be building the Bumble Bee. And basically what it is, this is a 1/8 ounce pill head with a number 4 sickle hook on it. And what I've done is I powder painted this in yellow and black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a full video today. I'm going to show you how I powder paint it and how I tie it today. So stay tuned. Okay, what we're going to start with is a 1/8 ounce pill head where it's flat on the sides right there. And that's a number 4 sickle hook. And that's the jig we're going to start with. Today, what I've got is yellow fluorescent paint. It's in a fluid bed. My black is in a cap. I don't put it in a fluid bed on this particular tie because when I go to put my jig in the black paint, all I'm wanting to do is just touch the very head of it right here. Not on the sides back here, but I'm only going to touch it right here on the very end of it. And you'll see why in just a minute. I keep this in case I get any paint inside my eyelet. I can take it, clean that out before I bake it, because once it's baked, it's really hard to get off. I keep a pair of tweezers in case I get any excess paint. I can kind of pull that off. Pair of scissors, what we're going to use when we start tying. Some Sally Hansons also when we start tying. UV resin when we start tying, and then also a light. I keep the little surgical pliers right here. That's what I clamp my jig with when I'm heating it. And I keep a file handy. So normally what I do is before I even start painting, I kind of inspect my jig a little bit, and it's got a little rise right here where it came out of the mold. So all I do is I just take that file, just kind of knock that down where I could get a smoother look on my head. Doesn't take long, just a few passes. Yeah, it came right off. There you go. So, I'll let you see just as much as I can of this. I'm fixing to turn the heat gun on, so it's going to get a little loud in here, but bear with me for just a minute. Heat gun's kind of off camera. All I'm going to do is just put it on the heat gun. On my first heat, I usually heat up maybe 4, 5, 6 seconds. I get it pretty warm. And then I take and put it in my yellow. Make sure it's covered real good. Tap off a little excess. There. And then I'm going to go straight into the black. Now watch this. When I put it in the black, I'm just going to put the head of it in. Right there on the very end. That's what it looks like. Now, I'm going to reheat. Once I think it's wet again, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that black and I'm going to pull it right back to the yellow. Not really hot enough. Dragging on me. Okay. And then just take your black. Bring it, swirl it back. I don't worry a whole lot about putting it over the flat part, because that's where the eyes is going to go. Got a little excess right there. And that's what it's going to look like. Right there. So what I do now is I put the jigs, as many as I've got painted up, I put them in my little toaster oven at about 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. One word of caution, if you put it in there too long and too hot, it will discolor your paint just a little bit. It'll come out a darker color, and I don't. I like to leave them just as bright as I possibly can. So maybe a little bit of trial and error, but it's not hard. It's not hard, guys. You know, about 20 minutes, 25 minutes tops, 350, good to go. Yank them out, let them cool off, and start tying. So what I'm going to do is, since I have not baked this one, I do have one in the oven right now. As soon as it cools off, I'll bring it over and we'll start tying. So I'm going to move the cameras around and we'll get started. Okay, here we go. I got two cameras rolling right now, so I hope the footage turns out on both of them good enough where I can put both of them in. On our tie, I'm going to be using a gold thread. This is a Danville 210 Denier waxed. For my flash, we're going to use a gold flash on it. And for the body, we are going to use Bucktail. It's yellow and brown, but we're only going to use the yellow part of it. And then also for the body, we're going to use black Flashabou. And then around the neck, this is a black and gold Chenille right here. And so let's get started with it. First off, as always, always run some Sally Hansons just to make sure that base thread stays where it's supposed to. We just start winding up, go to the hook point, come back to the head, take your scissors, whack off the excess. There you go. So what I'm going to do is take some of this yellow bucktail right here, and I don't need it real long, or really a whole bunch of it. About like that right there. I used to like to use the hook length and then the hook length pass. So something like that. Yeah, we'll try that right there. Just cut that off. And then, that way I can get a little bit better feel on it. So these are kind of some loose wraps. I'm going to push them around the head. And now I'm going to bear down. I like to bear down so hard to move my jig. There. There we go. Then we'll take our bucktail, our Marabou, and I'm going to shorten it up just a little bit more to where you can see both colors coming through. So I will take and cut that off. And this one I'm not really going to spread. I'm just going to kind of leave it sitting on the back here. Kind of loose wraps to get it where I want it. And I bear down on it. Give me some tight wraps right there. Then we'll take some gold flash right here. And I can get off about 3 or 4 of those. Normally when I'm tying these jigs, I only use just a certain amount of this Flashabou. And that's why you see the little tie wraps on it right there. That way I can cut it to a certain length and that stuff not get crazy and get wild on me, and I drop half of it on the floor, which I've been known to do. There we go. So what I'm going to do is come on the side over here. I'm going to run that thread down just a little bit. I'm going to loop that. Get me a little tie right here. And I'm going to lay them down. Come about halfway. We're going to flip it to the other side and do the same thing. It's going to be a pretty jig when it finishes. And, man, it's got some good color in that water. There we go. Got about 3 on that one. Push them down. There we go. That's what she looks like right there. Okay. Now we're going to take some Sally Hansons. I dab it on there pretty good. I don't think you can hurt it by putting too much. And then we take our black and gold Chenille right here. I kind of put it with my hook point at the bottom, my eyelet at the bottom. It's normally where I start. I just take this, get a few wraps, get pretty heavy going back up to the top. And then I wrap like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you'll see why, because when I start to roll it, it's going to unroll that string right off there, that thread, I mean. Go down right here. Right there. That looks good. My excess, I just roll back up. Put me a couple of wraps. Spin it over. A couple of wraps. Like to make sure you're locked in. Cut your excess off. I'm going to pull this back. Get a good wrap right up there next to the head. And then also too, as usual, I've got to tell you about my finishing tool. Whipping tool, whatever they call it. Real easy to use. Drop it down, pull it back, make a figure 4. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear it popping as tight as I can get it. 1, 2, 4, 5. Pretty tight. Cut off your excess. Now, we're going to put some eyeballs on this thing right here. These are number 5 holographic eyeballs. If I can get one. There we go. I normally take it, put one right there on my tweezers, and take a little bit of UV. Put a little dab right there. Drop your eye on. Center it up. Go flip it. There we go. Grab one more. Watch it, those little boogers are sticky. A little drop of UV. Center that baby up. Give it a push down. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to seal the threads right here. Put a good coating of UV. Oh, just move my eyeball. Sorry, my hands are a little shaky. I get old. UV around those eyeballs. There we go. There. Make sure they don't come off. UV light. Got a little excess on that one. It's all right. Cut that eyeball just a tad crooked, but fish just think he's cross-eyed. Don't worry about it. There you go. 1/8 ounce Bumble Bee Crappie Jig. Right there. Now that is one good looking rig right there, folks. They will eat that up. Let me turn you around this side. Yeah, that's the side is cross-sided. They'll love that. Fish will love that. I think he's injured and come eat him anyway. But anyway, thanks for tuning into my video today. I got a bunch more coming out with some new jigs. Y'all be sure and like and subscribe to our channel. We'd appreciate it. We also got a giveaway going on right now. That's going to be done on November the 15th. This is our first one. The second one is December the 15th on that one.